Welcome to The Surprise Truth, where a timely insight can change your life forever. I'm here with Avelo Roy, who is a thought leader, very famous internet personality. He is a spiritual leader, he is an entrepreneur, he is a venture capitalist, he's got many hats. And today we're going to talk about some of the surprise truths that not only changed his life, but may change your life when you are looking at how life is treating you and your place in the world needs to be known. An episode like this can help you. So welcome, Avelo.
Thank you so much, Sachin.
To The Surprise Truth.
Thank you.
I would actually like to go right into this, what are you doing nowadays? Because, Kolkata Ventures, as I understand, is one of the largest venture capitalists for the eastern part of India. And in that process of you becoming what you are now, your organization, what are some of the surprise truths that you discovered along the way, which then made you dig deeper and build a much larger organization?
Sure. So, I sold my third startup at the age of 29, came back to India and was figuring out what to do. So I had the option to join the family business, but then I wasn't seen as somebody who knows how to do business in India. You know how it happens in family, you're kind of the child always.
Yes.
Right? So Kolkata Ventures was my way of expressing the world I live in, that is a startup, technology, innovation, that stuff, because I can't breathe without it.
Yeah.
So that's where it started, kind of like a charity, where East India, as you know, is kind of lagging behind. Everybody was like, go to Hyderabad, go to Bangalore, go to Delhi, Gurgaon. I was like, no, Kolkata is the place to be, and I'll name it Kolkata Ventures, and we'll start from here. So that journey was basically to help entrepreneurs. And then when we realized this, investors also don't know what they're doing. Entrepreneurs don't know what they're doing. Both are getting in trouble because of that. So that's why we started consulting, incubation, acceleration, investing, and all of that. So from Kolkata to West Bengal to East India, now we're in 9 countries, right? So this is like my way of, I think I'll quote the US Department of Commerce head at the time. John told me, Avelo, when people are happy and making money, they don't think about killing us. So we want Kolkata Ventures to have influence on the eastern side of India and beyond. So China doesn't have that much influence, India does. And so they have helped us go in that direction from Nepal, Bhutan, Myanmar and other places where, if there is a US embassy, if there is anything US connected, we have a connection there. Okay. So that's the whole point, is when East India, if you look at it, during votes, there is bloodbath. There's a lot of crime, there's a lot
strife.
Because it's poor. As soon as you uplift the entire economy, when people dream about doing big things, they don't think about burning buses and breaking down government properties. And that's what entrepreneurship means for that region. And I'm very proud to say that so far, 550 plus revenue generating startups, 5,000 plus jobs created. And that's Kolkata Ventures. Then, as you know, I'm connected to ISKCON. So I do a lot of I'm the marketing head for North America.
But before you go into that, I want to dig a little deeper. East India, what's the surprise truth about East India that people should know?
East India is not where people invest a lot of money, but people on a very low profile go from 0 to 1 crore in less than a year. They go from 1 crore to 3 crores in the next year. And that's how they grow, maybe copying what is happening in the rest of the world, but they have their niche and they have their jugaru, mindset. And that's what they use. Without using investors' money, most of them are able to grow using YouTube, using WordPress, using free content, free stuff out there. So very enterprising personalities, right? That's what it is. There's also the aspect of things that only people in East India know that outside world doesn't. Starting with the language and then going into the mindset and everything else. Like one company, they're teaching stock market and cryptocurrency in Bengali. So they have the whole market of Bengal, Bangladesh, Tripura, and other Bengali speaking parts of East India. And from 0 to again 1 crore, 3 crores, then now they're doing 15 crores in revenue. Right. So that is how now you will never hear about them on Inc. 42.
Correct.
You'll never hear about them on Entrepreneur Magazine because we don't get covered. But are things happening? Absolutely. Regardless of the government, regardless of any help they receive or not. And that's where Kolkata Ventures comes in. These people come with zero idea, zero just ambition that I want to do something. I have certain intelligence and rest is up to you.
So there's a lot of opportunity for niches to be developed.
Very much so. very much so.
Do you think the rest of India should look eastward, and are there opportunities for other parts of?
See, I feel tier 2 cities, tier 3 cities in all over India would have that. But the good thing about other parts of India is that the state government has a lot of support. I'm not saying we don't have our state government support, but the coffers are empty. 2017 was the last time the West Bengal government had any money for startups, right? So there is no help as such from the state government when it comes to growing these businesses. Where when you see Maharashtra, when you see Karnataka, when you see Tamil Nadu, even Bihar, right? At least in words, there are resources available. 500 crores. Nitish Kumar invited me. We went there. There were 500 crores venture capital fund that was opened by Bihar, right? But we don't have that in Bengal or maybe other East India states. So that is one difference. Having said that, we are not looking for help also. We don't want favors. We want to grow on our own, and we are doing that.
So do you see that there is an opportunity to be more closely associated with ASEAN? Because much of east of India is closer to ASEAN. In fact, they are neighboring some of the countries in ASEAN.
In fact, there's a huge corridor that's opening up. There's a road from Assam all the way to Thailand that is being built. That's going to open up. That's going to make Assam the Singapore of India. Because entire Myanmar, that whole belt, Bangladesh, that whole belt will be able to do free trade with India through that road. So this is an up and coming region, and Calcutta being the port, right, and Assam being the road, there's going to be a lot of business that's going to happen, regardless of the political scenario. And yes, so there is a lot to look into here. People are changing drastically, thanks to internet being, the reach of internet is everywhere, every nook and corner. Everybody has a smartphone. So we're not limited to our geographical limitations. So people are eager, they're hungry for growth, and they're growing.
So the chances of India being more integrated to ASEAN may come from the east of India.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. It
so
will.
That is a surprise truth actually, because a lot of people don't see that. It's not much talked about, but I think that's something we can highlight here. So now I want to go back to the ISKCON story, and I wanted to hear a little bit more about what motivated you to enter that world, and what are some of the surprise truths there that you learned that you would like to share with the audiences?
Certainly. So when I was studying in college, well, from the age of 5, I have been meditating and trying to figure out, is there God, no God, that whole idea. My father said, you're born, you die, and that's it. My mother said, no, there's more. And, your father and mother not in consensus. So you as a child, you kind of figure out like, okay, let me figure out my own answer, reading books, going to places. And eventually when I went to America to study, I came across my mentor, my spiritual mentor, who was able to give me answers to all the questions I've asked throughout my childhood, never gotten a clear-cut answer. And here he was giving me facts and figures like that. And I asked him, where do you get it from? He said, Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam. They're all given, it's facts and figures. And he could point to the exact verse, and I could see it, the Sanskrit, word for word, that, wow, the answer's all here. I just didn't know. And that gave me a lot of initial boost. Then my parents got separated while I was studying there. And so I was in a financial crisis where, my father stopped paying for my education. So at that point of time, I was like, now what? And again, my mentor reminded me, don't worry, Krishna is your father. He says in Bhagavad Gita, Aham bija pradapitaha. I am the seed-giving father. So it will manifest, and it manifested, right? I was not a very good student, but a scholarship fund called University Presidential Scholarship Fund was open just for me, just to make sure I can continue my education, and other things worked out. My startup also worked out at that time, and so I got the validation that it's not theory, it's practical. Bhagavad Gita actually works. So as I was saying, as I'm running Kolkata Ventures, I'm also leading the marketing efforts for North America and Europe for ISKCON. I'm a trustee at the Alfred Ford School of Management, and I do a lot of charitable activities. I do a lot of speaking engagements, 4 TED Talks. I love teaching, so I'm at a guest faculty at 8 IITs and 3 IIMs and multiple other universities. The Kolkata Ventures also has a lot of entrepreneurship education activities, tie-ups with a lot of universities. In fact, back when I was starting up in Chicago, 2008, President Obama came into power, and he was faced by a recession. And at that point, his answer to recession was Startup America. and his home was 10 minutes from my home. So I was there campaigning for him. He was at my university. So there was his CTO was a mentor of mine, Harper Reed. So through that, we had a connection. And I was at the entrepreneurship education panel for White House, right? So it started from there, right? So Startup America, I'm the voice of entrepreneurship. And one of the gifts I have from God is simplifying complex ideas. And that's what I do at this college. I don't know MBA myself, but I enjoy teaching. So that's one of the things I do. So these are multiple things that I'm doing right now.
Yeah. So I want to talk a little bit about you being an influencer. You have a lot of social media channels and you have a lot of followers. And I don't think you would have had that expectation of yourself 10 years ago. And was it a surprise to you? What is the surprise truth you found when you were thrown into the world of being a public speaker, and especially on digital?
You know, I am an introvert.
Yes.
A hardcore
Which
introvert.
I find difficult to believe.
Most people say that. For my first 1 month in college, I only had my roommate to talk to. I could not even open my mouth. I was such a shy person. I was pushed into a public speaking thing where there was the election and I was nominated. And I don't know what I spoke. People clapped, they voted, I won. And that first icebreaker happened. And since then, I've been speaking. So when I came to India, I had only 300 friends on Facebook. LinkedIn, I had around 2,000. So that's when I realized, you know what? I don't have my father's network. For me to do anything in India, I need a network. And I don't have one. What do? Social media is my way, right? And that's when I started doing videos on Facebook, on startups. In 2016, if you remember, it was just the beginning. There was no startup related videos available.
At the time.
And I was giving very short, no reels, right? So I was doing 2-minute, 1-minute reels at that time. So people found it very digestible, that I don't talk for too long. I can't talk for too long, right? It's straight to the point. And that started bringing in invitations. People are like, please come and talk at our college. Please come and speak at this and that. And I started getting invited all over. Now, the surprise truth was, jo dikhta hai wo bikta hai. In Hindi, there's a saying, that what you show is what you sell. And that's what started happening, right? The more people know about you, the more opportunities I started gaining. Just to give a small example of a surprise truth. So this is happening, and so as an influencer, you do brand endorsements and you get some money. It's okay.
Correct.
But one opportunity that came was two actually. First one was somebody from China who I did business with when I was a teenager. When I was starting my first startup in college. His name is Leon. Very amazing guy. He was CEO of a 40,000 employee company. I looked up to him. And once he sees me on LinkedIn, he says, Avelo, I've quit my job. I'm an entrepreneur now. I'm no more a CEO. And I want you to be my partner. I'm like, it's a great order. But why me, if I may ask? And he said, Avelo, I've been watching how you've been growing on LinkedIn. I never thought people would see these things. But it's like, I'm watching your updates. And I feel like I can trust you. That's the surprise truth. That watching me on social media. Develop trust. Where he's offering me to be his partner. And here is a guy who has done business for 40 years with all the top Western brands, including Texas Instruments and other companies, right? That's one opportunity. Second one was another gentleman from Delhi, the venture capitalist. He said, Avelo, I heard about you. I saw you on LinkedIn. I feel you're the perfect person to buy out a company. Together, we bought out a company, turned it around, and sold it off. Point is, many such opportunities started coming in, and I'm not an influencer like millions of followers. My influence is only with startup community. My following on LinkedIn is only 30,000, not 300,000, 3 million.
But it's 30,000 quality.
But it's 30,000 quality people. Me and a couple of people to Nepal. I saw Ritesh Agarwal, OYO CEO. And I said I should go shake his hands and introduce myself. His opening speech, first sentence was, Avelo, I watch your videos on LinkedIn. Like, I don't have to introduce myself. And being an introvert, that's a very good thing because it's hard for you to go and say, hi, I'm Avelo Roy. And that's what does it. When you're somebody you don't have to go introduce yourself. People come to you, and that's a great relief. So these are some of the things. And again, like I said, I'm not an influencer as in millions of followers, but very narrow niche. But in that niche, I'm well known.
Okay. So I'm going to reverse back, or let's say rewind, to the time when you went to the US and you became a millionaire for the first time. Okay. So when you actually became a millionaire, was there any surprise truth that you discovered which you never expected?
Well, it didn't happen like you just suddenly wake up in the morning and
Yeah.
become a millionaire. It was a lot of effort, lot of struggle, lot of firefighting. So honestly, didn't even notice it. But when the share certificate, says you own so many shares and that's worth so many millions of dollars, it's like,
Was it a moment?
that was like, wait a second, should I pause? Wait, is that, I never noticed that I've arrived.
Yes.
And that was a moment of joy, but I didn't get to celebrate. It was kind of like, okay, let me just give myself 5 seconds to breathe, acknowledge it and move on, because there's so many things to be done. But the good thing was, as now from share certificate to cash,
Yes.
when that started happening, then comes a slight arrogance,
Yes.
right? And that's the role of a mentor. My mentor was very clear. He's like, you're getting puffed up. Please be careful. What you have received is a gift, right? It can be taken away at any time. Be careful how you deal with people. Be careful what you think about yourself, because bad times are coming. Good times are here, bad times are going to come, and again good times are going to come. Bhagavad Gita says it, chapter
Yes.
2, text 14.
Correct.
How you treat people now, they're going to treat you. So there was a great wake-up call. Then there was accountability, that how I'm spending money, what kind of car should I buy, what kind of house should I buy, right? Should it be based on whim, or is it based on accountability? So my mentor, again, I would always ask him, I'm thinking of buying this car or doing this. And he'd be like, do you really need this? What is the justification behind it? And I would try my best to rationalize. Thankfully, he's much more intelligent than I am, so I could never cheat him. But that's a great way to kind of keep yourself, controlled. Otherwise, it can destroy you at an early age. When you're 21, 22 years old, and you have access to money, and people start treating you like a respectable 40-year-old, right? You might think the whole world should, bow down to you. And that mentality can destroy. That arrogance can kill you. So thankfully, I was going in that direction, but I was very gently, moved around. So that's been a big pivotal point for my life.
Okay.
To know how to handle fame, how to handle money, how to handle influence.
Well, for sure that there's a lot more happening. Where do you see yourself 5 years, 10 years ahead of time? Because I'm sure you have a plan.
I don't.
You take
Sachin.
life as it comes?
I have not so far, but now is my time to enjoy. I'm just having fun. Where, like I said, 29, I retired, right? From there onwards, it's been whatever Krishna puts on my lap, I will make the best of it. I will not waste my time or money or energy. I will use it productively. But whatever opportunities come my way. So I've built a magnet for myself where opportunities come my way. I have at least built that much of a reputation. Now the opportunities are coming. I choose my opportunities and I try to make the most of it if I can add value. If I can't add value, I will say no thank you. I can't do anything with it. So if you tell me a 5-year plan, I don't have a plan. I'm here to have fun. I'm here to learn. And if I die tomorrow, I want to know that I've been able to change a few lives. Then in my cremation, there'll be some people at least having a few tears in their eyes. If that is there, I've done my job. My success is there.
So going back to this, with the lifetime of learning that you have, are there any surprise truths you'd like to share with the millennials and the Gen Zs of today?
Absolutely. One of the things is, it's very easy to just say, oh, so-and-so is old. That thing doesn't work anymore. We live in the age of AI. What I have seen is the role of mentors, the role of wisdom, the role of experience is huge. What I will figure out in, let's say, 6 months, somebody who has done that will tell me what to do, what not to do, and remove that 6 months to maybe 1 month. And so the role of somebody who has been there, done that. Now, there are lots of mentors on YouTube, lot of influencers. Be careful. Learn from those who have done it. That's my only thing. Learn from those who have done it and learn the tricks of how they screwed up so you don't have to, and what they figured out so you can quickly move from zero to whatever you want to go to. That's, I think, for me at least, that has been the secret to whatever little bit I have been able to achieve.
No, that's very good, and you have a good point that the young generation should also know how to learn from experiences.
Absolutely.
And we hope that they'll get those kind of inputs from the show today. That's one last question I want to end with. which is, I think, a topic that you have some good, strong views about, which is what's the surprise truth of AI?
The surprise truth about AI is people think that AI is going to change the world.
Yes.
I like to compare it to refrigerators, right? When refrigeration or refrigerators came, everybody thought, oh my God, this is big. But guess what? Coca-Cola made more money than the refrigerator industry combined. So AI is like internet. AI is not going to change the world. People building things on top of AI, using AI, right, are going to be the movers and shakers. So I think any Tom, Dick and Harry today say AI. Now, expert systems have existed since 1960s.
Yeah.
Right? The data sets are what makes AI. What data set a Netflix or a Google or an Amazon or a LinkedIn would have, our startups don't have. So stop fooling yourself, right? That's one. Two is you have access to their API. You can access their data sets. So plug in to their system. Like in India, I'm sure you've seen when you go up a bridge, a small cycle is holding on to a big truck, right? And they're going at the speed of the truck. Same way, a small startup can plug into a Google's API or whatever, Amazon or wherever. And through that strategic partnership, they can access the AI and build things on top rather than trying to build a ChatGPT or whatever else, build on top of them, and you will see that you can become another Coca-Cola based on the refrigeration industry.
Okay. So, and what's the surprise truth about human intelligence in comparison to AI?
Human intelligence, we are always going to be far more intelligent than anything that humans can create, because by default, now I'm going to go slowly in the spiritual realm, by default we as a conscious being, a conscious person is superior to dull matter. Now in the Bronze Age when we had hammers and today when we have AI, it is no different. These are tools. Tools are going to be there, but we are so smart, we can figure out how to use animals to our advantage, for a bullock cart, to how to use the laws of nature, making a jumbo jet fly or a spaceship go to another planet. So we will always be far more intelligent than AI. And it's important that we don't oversee that and continue to grow that intelligence muscle. Just like we go to the gym to build our physical muscle, we must grow the intelligence muscle. Only then we will be able to creatively use what the tools that modern technology is providing us. If we don't have that creativity, no matter what tools are there, people would be, it's kind of like using a cannon to kill a mosquito.
Yeah.
Right? So we need to have the creativity to use the right tools for the right purpose to achieve something unique. And that's where this comes in.
Okay, very good. And I think, you had mentioned in one of the talks earlier about ChatGPT and embracing ChatGPT. So there is a surprise truth in all these technologies, which I think you have a view on. What would be your advice to young people who are exposed to all these new tools and new technologies? How should they react?
See, young people are using all of this for projects, for their college or office or wherever else. Even writing reports, writing documents and whatnot. So ChatGPT, yes, if you know the right prompts, you can create amazing content, amazing products and everything. But don't forget that you are a unique individual with a unique set of qualities that people admire in you. The moment we lose our uniqueness, we become just like everybody else, right? In Hindi, we say, Sharma ji ka beta, right? That's what the mass always pushes us. Why can't you be like everybody else?
Yeah.
Why are you so weird? And then weird becomes unique, and then unique becomes success. So don't lose your uniqueness trying to use all these technologies. Rather, once you get the output, now try to make it better with your human intelligence, with your emotional intelligence, and touch the hearts of people. Because so far, that's one place where humans always win. It's not logic that people are touched by. It's the love. It's the compassion. It's the aspect of thoughtfulness and small, small things. And if you can do that, you will always have an edge over the thousands of others who are using the same tool that you're using. What's your advantage when you have your own unique blend of things in it?
Correct.
So don't become just another copy paste.
Very good, and thank you, Avelo, for being on the show. Today we shared a lot of surprise truths about his journey as well as we talked about technology. And I would like you to continue this conversation in the chat below, where we can talk more about various opinions you may have, or you may want to contribute to the story. Feel welcome to come and join the conversation. Thank you, and see you at the next episode of The Surprise Truth.